Welcome back, everyone. Great to be here with you on this Mindset and Motivation Monday. Can't wait to get into today's topic. The topic is on the lost translation of be, do, get. If you've been a listener of the Cabral concept for a few years now, you'd have heard me explore this topic about a couple years ago, and it was the secret. Literally, this is the secret to being able to change your life and to be able to get that which you desire. Now, you might say to yourself, it doesn't seem like too much of a secret, or there's no such thing as these secrets out there, this metaphysical based thing, whatever it might be. But you have to understand that this is now, it's actually been written about for so many thousands of years. It was discovered in the Dead Sea Scroll. So if you've never heard about the Dead Sea Scroll before, it's amazing. You should absolutely check out the work in the Dead Sea Scrolls. One of the very first times that humans were be able to figure out a lot of lost documents, because the Dead Sea Scroll was essentially translated into 3 main languages that they were then able to translate many other thousands-year-old documents. So pretty absolutely fantastic. But one of the things inside of it was actually a lot of these, as they say, metaphysical-based realities that can change a person's life. So if you think about it, every major form of religion has some type of prayer involved. And that prayer also it absolutely includes giving thanks, but it also allows for an asking, right? It allows you, as you pray, to ask for forgiveness, to ask for health for you or another person, to ask for finances, for career promotions, for stronger belief in spirituality and faith, and anything that you look for or want and desire. And all religious texts don't necessarily say that's bad. They say the love of money is a bad thing, right? Of course, right? The over-exaggeration of anything is a bad thing, but they're not saying that money or finance is a bad thing, because without it, we obviously see how difficult it is, how few options an individual has. And I actually got to experience that firsthand of how bad things can be when I was traveling to India. And I saw, the worst of the worst. I have to be honest with you that in a few of the cities I was at, the family was so poor, living in the street, no food, that the children didn't even have clothing. That's how poor they were. And it was awful to see, especially from someone who has seen poverty, of course, being in Boston and seeing people that are homeless. But this was a level that you wouldn't have imagined before. No home, no shelter, no clothes, no food, nothing. And I'm here saying, what could I possibly do? What can I do? And the most that I could think about was say, because I was obviously with the group, and we were at a specific clinic. And so all I had was a few dollars. And so what I did was just in myself, I wasn't the only one. We tried to get food. We tried to get whatever we could. And of course, that only lasts for so long, but it makes a mark on you. And I've never forgotten that. And what I want to say from all of that is that many people have very difficult times in our life. And if we're not, if we're a little bit more fortunate than that, I think we do need to give thanks. I do think that we need to be grateful, but at the same time, that I think that we can ask, and I think that we can receive. And again, the Bible and every religious text says that. And I don't want to turn this into a religious-based sermon, because it's not. I consider myself a spiritual person, a very spiritual-based person, but I don't want to turn this into any one religion, because I don't even know how I feel about that exactly, right? And so what I like to do is try to do the best that I can to live a good life and help as many people as possible. And I think if we do that, then we're not going to be led astray. That's the biggest thing. But what I wanted to share with you is that how is it that thousands of years ago the same information was written as we're really talking about today? But if we look at it, it was actually refined to a greater degree, because it was kept from people, believe it or not, for, well, I would say till now. Like, people they don't know about this unless they're listening to a podcast like this or another one. And so when I try to explain the be, do, get concept, and I'm going to break it down right for you, I actually want to read 2 translations for you. So the first one is from Neville Goddard. And I've already recommended this book before, but it's called The 5 Lessons. It's super short, and that's why I recommend it, because it just can give you a little bit of a taste. It can be a little overwhelming on the first read, but the nice thing is you get to read it over many times. So it doesn't even matter what religion you are, because it just starts to quote, and then it starts to explain. But what it goes into, one of the first lines, I'm just going to read you a few, is that when you pray, believe that you have received and you shall receive. This is really important, and that's why probably The 5 Lessons shouldn't be the very first book that you read on this. I think The Magic of Thinking Big is a great one. I think The Power of the Subconscious Mind is always one of my first and favorite books to gift to people. That one's by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And again, a lot of these have religious undertones, but you don't need to think in that way. Sermon on the Mount by Emmett Fox is another one. It's religious undertones, but again, it doesn't matter what religion you are, because what we're talking about is our subconscious, our psychology, and also all of the potential that we have locked inside of ourselves that we've either forgotten about from childhood, or that our school, our family, our community, the government, whoever it might be, has kind of squashed down inside of us, right? We've been, told when we're younger in schools and all that to only speak when spoken to raise your hand if you have all these different things, just gradually kind of pushed down inside of us, where we don't feel that we're able to bring our best to the world. So there's another part and another translation. This comes directly from the Dead Sea Scroll, and so that's why I want to share this with you. So just once again, the simple version: when you pray, believe that you have received and you shall receive. So what does that mean? It's very strange, right? They put that word believe in there, because a lot of people, where they go wrong is this: they ask for something. They ask God, they ask the universe, whatever they are praying to or asking to. And they're basically saying something like, please help me get my health back. And that might be an autoimmune issue, it might be migraines, it might be weight gain, it might be cardiovascular issues, whatever it might be. And they're saying, please. But they're asking and they're putting that power out there to the world. Okay, that's a problem. It is an actual problem. And I'm going to give you the exact reason why in just a moment, because the B is the most important part. All right. Most people get the do and the get. I'm going to explain that in a moment. But the B is the most important part. And I've actually never shared that part before. So here is the origin of it. Ask and ye shall receive, right? So it's the same thing, right? What was the first one? When you pray, so you're asking, right? Believe you have received and you shall receive. So ask and you shall receive. It's in almost all major texts for sure, right? So here was the original sentence though, from the Dead Sea Scroll. Because if you just read that, you say, ask and you shall receive, right? Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so that means all I need to do is ask. And then people say, well, the whole law of attraction, this manifestation thing didn't work for me. Yeah, you asked and you didn't receive. Same with me in the past, right? But here's the real translation that they shortened that they shouldn't have. It was this: ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Okay? And I'm going to actually link to a brilliant video. I apologize. I wish I could think of the teacher. I'm going to call him a teacher's name, who did a great video on this. I will find it and I will share it with you at stephencabral.com/2124. So those who like to learn in video, I will share that with you, stephencabral.com/2124. And the reason I'm saying that is I always like to give credit where credit's due. Okay. And that's where I first heard it. So ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. That means this: ask without judgment, meaning you don't feel it's right or wrong. So oftentimes at a deep subconscious level, you might say, I really want a job that pays me X number of dollars. But you feel deep down that maybe people will look at you different if you're making a lot of money. Maybe family will not talk to you as much. Maybe they'll be jealous. So all of a sudden you have these barriers that you're giving out energetically that you don't actually feel is right for you. This is so important. And be surrounded by your answer means that already feel that you have it. And I'm going to get to that in much more depth in just a moment. The second part is this. So ask without hidden motive, no ego, no judgment, no right or wrong. You're asking and believing. You're surrounded by your answer. And the second part is this: be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. Okay. Now, what does that mean? It means this. Be enveloped means to feel. I have shared this before. Your words almost mean nothing, right? And here's why. Literally different languages. If someone's speaking a different language to me that I don't know, those words mean absolutely nothing, right? It means nothing. To the world out there itself, the words don't necessarily mean anything. What means something is the feeling. So when you ask, you need to feel as if you already have that which you desire. And I want to read this by Neville Goddard as well, and then we'll explain it to a greater depth because I really like how this is put. Know that your consciousness is the only reality. Then know what you want to be. Then assume the feeling of being that which you want to be and remain faithful to your assumption, living and acting on your conviction. Always make it fit that pattern. Let's go back to one line. Know what you want to be. Then assume the feeling that which you want to be and remain faithful to it. So that means this. If you want to overcome, like I had to overcome Addisons disease, autoimmune issues, debilitating fatigue, etc., gut issues. So I had to feel when I asked that I was already cured, that I was already well. But think about it. Think how difficult that is. Think how challenging it was for me I didn't even know that any of this existed until my early 20s. I was sick. I had diagnosed Addisons disease. I had insomnia. I had myalgic encephalomyelitis. I had POTS. I had type 2 diabetes. I had rheumatoid arthritis. So I have all of these things, and my body's in pain. I'm tired. I don't feel well. I can't even sleep at night to try to rejuvenate my body. Yet I need to believe as I'm asking, this is what I'm reading in my early 20s, I need to believe that I'm already well. I can't envision that. That's the reason why, though, all of us are held back from manifesting and accomplishing that which we desire at a faster rate. And I'm going to give you some tips, though, to make it happen faster. The problem is that we don't actually get to receive what we want in life until we believe we deserve it and that we've already achieved it, that we act as if we already have that which we desire. That is the most challenging part of the be, do, get formula. Because the do is to then take the action, right? So in the law of attraction, it's just ask. No, it's not just ask. So what you do is that you need to make your future your present. So those future feelings, I imagine what it would feel like, right? You want to use the word feel. Imagine what it would feel like to have all the energy in the world, to have a lot of ambition, to have a lot of drive, to really love life. Imagine that feeling. Close your eyes. Right? Imagine that feeling. That is what you need to feel, and you need to stay in that space as long as possible. Now, the nice thing is you can do that through a very simple meditation. Close your eyes. Put on some light music if you'd like. Go within. Focus on your breath, and then just envision the sights, the smells, the sounds of what it looks like when you've already accomplished that goal. As you begin to do that day after day after day, it will start to sink in. In the beginning, your mind will reject it. Your conscious mind will say, this isn't real. This isn't real. This is not our reality. That's okay. You don't fight it. You just tell your body, hey, we're dreaming. We're just dreaming of that spot that we know we're going to get to. Eventually, you're not going to have to fight it. You're going to start to dream it as if it's already here right now. The more that you can take that image and embed it into your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind then will present you with opportunities that you never knew existed, just out of the blue. Like, I can't believe this happened. I got so lucky. Maybe you got lucky. Maybe. Or maybe now your subconscious is presenting these opportunities to you. You're more aware of them using what's called that reticular activating system, but you still have to do the do, right? You have to then take action. Take action on that opportunity. So if you've been thinking about getting well or transforming your body or upgrading your career or finding that right relationship for you, well, when the opportunity presents itself for that right person to connect with, connect with them. Take that next step. That's the do, right? And the get is that you still envision, you still believe, but you're still doing the work. You're still taking the action. And in the end, you get that which you desire. Now, how do you know how fast you can make it happen? Well, certain things have timelines. If you're going to school for a 4-year degree, it's probably going to take 4 years. Now, if you don't take summers off and you don't take winter breaks off, you take one class during your winter break, you take 1 or 2 classes during the summer, well, you could condense that to probably 3 years, right? You could. So you can condense, you can work with it. But for many things like a new career, a new promotion, or that special someone that you're looking to meet in your life, or to drastically improve your health, or to lose weight, all of those things can happen in tomorrow, today, right? You can start to implement those plans today, and you can start to see results tomorrow. Honestly, you can see weight loss. You could lose 5 to 7 pounds easily within 7 days. Right? We do that all the time with people. You can start to feel dramatically better within 21 days, dramatically better, right? With something like a functional medicine detox or any type of system, right? A protocol that you're implementing. And certainly you could bump into that person that you've been looking to meet later today, but only if you do what? Well, you're open to it, but first you have to believe. It's the single biggest thing that people do not do right. And it's why every single year, right? We're approaching the new year. Every single year, what is it? Well, it's pretty much the same goals as last year. Why didn't you accomplish the goals that you set for yourself last year? It is not for lack of trying for most people. I really don't believe that. Because people would do the work if they were motivated, right? If they were inspired. Why aren't they inspired? Why aren't they motivated? Because they don't actually believe that it's going to come true. It's like a coin flip. Maybe it'll come true. Maybe it won't. The likelihood of it coming true, if you don't believe, is closer to 0 than it is to 100%. And the reason is you're just so much less likely to take action. So here's the nice thing. And this is a way around this. All right. This is what I found. This is a little bit of a shortcut, a little bit of a hack, as they say, right? You might not fully believe. That's the hardest part. Now, if you do it, it makes things happen really quickly. If you truly believe, right? If you believe without judgment, and if you believe your future and you bring it into your present and feel that future reality in the now, it will happen dramatically faster. But since that is challenging, challenging for me, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm just like you. I mean, honestly, I wasn't given any special gifts. That's not the way that it works. I wasn't this, manifestation master at birth. That's not how it worked. Here's what I do. I'd say, okay, this is my goal, right? Whatever my goal is. Let's just say it's to, I don't know, let's say that I want to lose 10 pounds or gain 10 pounds. It honestly doesn't really matter. What I will do is I will say, what would I have to do in order to make that happen? Right? So you should do the same. If you want to, let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. So it's a big goal, right? It's a big goal. You want to lose that 50 pounds. You haven't been able to lose the weight in years. Okay, what do you need to do? You may not be able to visualize yourself 50 pounds later. You may not be able to feel that lightness in body. You may not be able to feel the extra energy that you get, the less stress on your joints, right? The less stress on your heart and lungs. You might not be able to feel that. You might not be able to enjoy yourself in that memory because you want to enjoy bringing that future goal to the present, right? Already having achieved it. So what do you need to do? What you need to do then is find the plan and begin to implement the plan. And then when you weigh yourself on that scale or your clothes start to feel a little bit loose, what do? You give more gratitude. You're saying, this is working. And you get a little bit more confidence. So now what do? Well, you just say, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Because that's realistic. Still don't know if I'm going to be able to lose that 50 pounds. But I lost 3 this week. I'm headed in the right direction. I'm starting to believe. So what happens is this heaviness, this tension on your body where you don't actually believe it can happen. You believe it can happen for other people, right? But you don't believe it's part of your reality. So you don't have that ability to ask and honestly and be open and receive. Because you're asking, but you don't actually believe that you can receive this. You feel it's okay for other people, but maybe not for you because of genetics or because of all sorts of other issues. But now you see yourself actually moving towards your goal. So what happens is you lose another couple pounds. You say, okay, this is great. I'm moving in the right direction. Maybe this can happen for me. So you double down on your plan. You do a little bit more walking. You eat even that much cleaner. You lose a little bit more weight. You start to work with an integrative health practitioner. You start to run some labs. You fix your gut-based issues. You start to remove those heavy metals. You do a functional medicine detox. You begin something like the fat velocity plan. And you're like, whoa, I'm losing even more weight. Now I'm down 15 pounds. I haven't lost 15 pounds for the last couple of years. I still have some weight to go, but you're starting to believe. And now when you visualize, now you can say, okay, I'm not that far away. I can do this. I can achieve this. And even if I hit an obstacle across the on the path, no big deal. I'm on my way. I already know that I am the person. I'm the person right now who's 50 pounds lighter. So you go out there and you start buying those smaller clothes because you know that you're not going back, right? You're already taking action. You're saying, no, I'm so convinced. I believe so much that I'm already buying another size too small. So it's a little tight right now, but I know that that's going to fit in just about 3 or 4 weeks from now. You start to actually believe and go out there and act as if. When you do that, you start to bring those goals to your present reality that much faster. This is truly the key. This is the secret that most people have not been shared. It is not ask and ye shall receive. It is ask and believe you have already received, and then you will receive. If you do that, it's not going to be a problem to wake up with motivation. It's not going to be a problem to work on your goals because you know how good it feels to have already achieved them because you've already seen it in that mind's eye. So now you do the work in the actual physical world. You've already seen it out there, right? In the ether, right? You've seen it when you close your eyes. Now you'll do the work in the physical world. And then you will achieve that which you desire. Hopefully this made sense. I'm always happy to do multiple parts to this, but I'm telling you right now, begin to implement this just with even just one thing. And you should only be one thing at a time, but begin to feel it, begin to implement it. You don't have to share it with a lot of people. Start to journal and have it become one with you. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Cabral Concept. I truly appreciate you. And as always, if this show is helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve.